watching Force 13 Live.
Welcome to this week's Climate Show, where we will be talking about El Nino and La Nina sea surface temperatures, which affect the world's climate. Also, I'm going to start with the El Nino first. So, the El Nino consists of warmer than average equatorial Pacific / Eastern Pacific sea surface temperatures. The El Nino impacts on our climate is basically, it gives us a less active Atlantic hurricane season. As I say. We also see major flooding events worldwide, particularly in the UK, like we've seen over the past winter. Also for parts of America, we also get floods, warmer than average temperatures. For example, the Christmas period was summer-like weather, particularly in eastern parts of America. Am I doing so far, Nathan? Am I doing okay? So, and we also see more tornado outbreaks during the El Nino, especially during the winter. As we were all watching that over Christmas as well. We also see global temperatures briefly rising during an El Nino also. It tends to rise about 1 degree or half a degree, depending on how strong the El Nino is. And because this El Nino was a very strong one, the strongest one since 1997-98, it means it was 1 degree warmer than average. So I'll touch on more about El Nino shortly. I'm going to talk about the other one, La Nina, as well. So I'm going to say a bit about that as well. The La Nina is basically colder than average waters in the same area of the Pacific. And also, the weather effects of that is colder than average temperatures globally. We generally see colder winters for America and Canada also, particularly Eastern America and Eastern Canada as well. The UK can tend to get colder winters too during the La Nina than they do during the El Nino. Europe will also see many Arctic blasts, just like America during a La Nina period. And for example, we had heavy snowfalls across the UK in the 2009-10 winter, which was a La Nina winter. And we also had a very cold December during the 2010-11 winter as well. And there was many snowfalls that occurred not just in the UK but also Europe as well, and eastern side of America and Canada. And over the tropics we also get a more active hurricane season during the La Nina period, and when we get a La Nina, the hurricanes tend to strike Florida at times. Uh, Not always, but at times they can during the La Nina year. This La Nina coming, I think, will be a strong La Nina. So I
Yeah,
do think,
I just want to ask a key question here. This is Nathan Foy, by the way, just hiding in the shadows.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
is the key question right now: will La Nina arrive before the hurricane season?
I think it'll arrive during it. I think it'll arrive just in the middle of the summer. So I think that the hurricanes it'll become very active, particularly the second half of the hurricane season, during the peak period, Nathan, like August, September, and also October as well. So I think that's where the most active period will become. But I'm not ruling out a few tropical storms before that, like in May, June time. So possibly July as well. But the stronger activity will come during August, September, October when this La Nina comes in.
So
It is
is
coming.
it possible, Lee, that we'll start the hurricane season in an El Nino but end it in a La Nina?
Yes, it is possible. Yes, it looks as if the El Nino may actually be gone by the time we start the summer. It'll be neutral by the time we get to summer, June. So the El Nino's actually declining very quickly. Um, as I was saying to David and Adam last night, it is weakening fairly quickly. And yes, so the answer to your question, Nathan, yes, we can. We can start with El Nino and finish with La Nina. Yeah.
Does anyone want to talk us through that graphic that's being shown on the screen share there? Or, well,
I'll give Craig. Do
either the one before or the
you want
one
to
after.
reshot, Craig? What one this image you now?
Yeah, showing the highest extent of the El Nino in
And
1997.
it looks very strong indeed, that one there. But that one's more an eastern based El Nino. The one that we've had this past winter was actually central based. So that's basically the difference in this El Nino and that El Nino, is that the El Nino is more central this year, but it is fading away now. So yeah, this El Nino wasn't as strong as the 1997, but it was still fairly strong.
And it's
This
at
one
least half the
done.
reason why we had all those Central Pacific storms, isn't it?
Yes, yes, absolutely different. Betrissa was also a part of it as well. You might not think it was, but it was.
The
The
what?
one was, remember Hurricane Betrissa? Hurricane Betrissa was influenced by
Oh, right,
the El
yep.
Nino waters. So the El Nino waters fed Betrissa, and Betrissa got very, very severe, as you clearly pointed out on your latest update when you were doing your storm updates. Um, but yes, but as to that weekend, I was also going to mention, Nathan, that the Eastern Pacific hurricane season won't be as active this year. It's going to be the Atlantic's turn to be more active. I expect the typhoons to continue as normal, but the Eastern Pacific won't be as active as the Atlantic this time.
Would you like to speculate at all how active you think the Atlantic might be?
That's a good question, Nathan. I think it'll be fairly active compared to the past 3 years, 4 years. Um, I think it's another kind of 2010 type hurricane season. That's just my thinking at the moment.
Now, the El Nino and the La Nina conditions, does that give us any indication at all as to how strong these storms might be? Whether we'll see any, well, for instance, Cat 5s in the Atlantic this year?
Yeah, that's another good question. I think this season will end that Cat 5 drought. I think we will see a Cat 5. I'm not sure where it will form yet, but I think it will definitely happen. I'll be monitoring it. I think a Cat 5 will happen later in the season, between August and October. Where it'll strike, we don't know. It could stay out to sea, but we'll see what comes of that. But yeah, good question, Nathan. And I've also discovered that the La Nina and El Nino events generally are weaker. Most years, most times they tend to be weaker than stronger. But the La Nina periods will becoming stronger as we go into this new grand solar minimum, which I mentioned on the first show. The El Nino periods will be much weaker, but the La Nina periods will become stronger as well. So, let's have that there, yeah.
Something that I'm rather interested about is what makes people. How can people be so certain of what the conditions will be in about a year's time in regards to El Nino and La Nina?
Right. Well, you can't exactly be sure what the winter's going to be like, but you can generally look back to the history over the past 300, 400 years, and you can see what they were doing back then, and it'll possibly determine what's going to be coming in the future. My thoughts, I think La Nina, when it does come back, I think the UK will see a colder winter next year. I think it'll be a flip compared to what we've experienced this past year or so.
Well,
So I generally think more colder spells next year, rather than mild spells.
yeah, and have there been any occasions in the past, say, where either yourself or people in general have predicted an El Nino or La Nina that didn't materialise or went way beyond their predictions?
I would say the people that I've spoke to have actually been predicted fairly well. They didn't expect a strong La Nina, a strong El Nino, sorry, to be as strong as it has been. But I did see it coming, Nathan. I did see a fairly strong El Nino coming, and it did happen. And you saw many effects that it caused. But really, it's on its final hurrah.
Yeah, and this time we've got
yeah.
Lee on record when he makes a prediction.
Yeah, so you do. It's on its last hurrah now, Nathan, and La Nina will return over the summer and into the autumn this year. And that will definitely influence next winter.
Is this David's screen sharing right now? Would you like to explain?
I think it is, yeah. This is the Australian side of it. That shows the main.
Yeah, I don't know if David has anything to say on that.
I'll let David say what he wants to say here. Do you want to say it here, David?
I'm just looking at the local scene over here. This is the rainfall going back over the last 12 years. You can see.
Years old.
Yeah, I'll just Lee. You'll have to help me because
yes,
there's
something
else slightly out of my.
There's just another thing I find interesting there. The record, you're looking at some of those years there, going back to 1910 or whatever it was. And since 1910, that's over a 100-year period. You've only got 12 years of data to choose from with the La Nina. So
yeah, I know. I had to understand that. Yes, and it's really weird that we
must still not know particular, well, as much as we could know about these phenomenons.
Yes, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to try my best to find more information.
No, I just say 12 strongest. There must be other ones then.
There is other ones about. I did have a look about on the web, and there's actually records that go back 400 years.
Yeah, I've seen it.
So have you? That's good. Generally, what you do is you look back to the past history, and then you'll see what's coming in the future. It's basically a recurring cycle. So, with the last little ice age, which ended 1850s, it started in the 1300s and lasted 550 years. But the coldest period was during the Grand Solar Minimum, which was in the 1600s. We're going to go back into another Grand Solar Minimum again, and we'll get the conditions that I mentioned on the first show that I did on the climate. So, but the Australian side of things, the La Nina will introduce more flooding for David. I was saying to David last night that once the La Nina kicks in, they'll tend to get more floods, especially during the summertime.
So that would be this summer then, wouldn't it?
So it'll be
November onwards.
Next summer for them, yes. They will get more flooding, and we'll get more colder spells here. Well, yeah.
I always look forward to the El Nino because that's what I can remember the last David. One. Sorry, La Nina. Yeah. Yep, sorry. But if we
that's okay.
Just going back to the chart, plus 25.0. Now, how's that scale work, Lee? You've got the plus. Is it?
Yeah, that's the temperature. The plus
that's
2.
The temperature.
That's the temperatures. That's how strong it became during those years. Averaged into November, yeah.
But wait, those are La Nina years, so it's warmer in Australia during a La Nina?
Well, that's the La Nina years, yeah. We need to get the El Nino years up as well. I'll see if I can find the El Nino years for you. Because I've just discovered that. I didn't realise it was only the La Nina years.
I'm just getting confused there. Are you saying that those are warm temperatures in Australia caused by a La Nina event?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Or is that talking about average rainfall? What is SOR?
SOI, that's average rainfall. You're right enough, Nathan. I was thinking temperature there, sorry.
That does make sense
It's average rainfall.
It's under a rainfall chart, of course.
Yeah, that's average rainfall.
Okay.
Sorry about that, Nathan. That's average rainfall. So that's your average rainfall at the bottom of the screen there.
So very wet in 1917.
Between June to November.
Yes.
So La Nina is a really good time for you, David.
And then you've got the 70s there as well, David. They were quite high. You experienced those firsthand.
I remember the 1974 Brisbane floods. I got stuck on a bus trying to get home. Tidal factor, and I think I spent about 6 hours in the bus. Only about 12 minutes from my home location, and I just sat there. Ready for the tide to go out, but I can remember the original Hornibrook Highway. It was completely under water. So 1974 flood. That's where Brisbane, the south side, Brisbane city. It was underwater. Then we look at the 1988, then 1998. But I thought the Bureau might have had a little bit of updated uh, information. Although it's a 10-year, what is it, a 10-year
Have we had a
gap?
strong La Nina since 1998?
A strong one.
Yes,
A
what,
strong one, didn't it? Sorry?
yeah, what year was it, Lee? 2013
Well, we had a... No, it wasn't
or
2013.
10?
It was the
2000.
2010-11 winter that gave us
Yep, that's right, yep.
the strongest landing that we've had during the past decades. So,
I see.
and this next one coming will be stronger than that. So that's why I said that the hurricane season will be underway and it'll be more active this upcoming season.
And
not just this season, but the season after as well.
I was just going to say that. I was just going to say, if anything,
There's
what
going
do
to-
you project for next year?
There's going to be this year will be a 2010 style, but I see a 2005 type one the following year.
Oh goodness!
So
Who was trying to talk just then?
So basically,
Great.
how strong a La Nina are we going to be talking about here? Are we going
well,
to
we're going to see.
be record breaker or?
I think we're going to see the opposite from what El Nino did. El Nino was strong positively. We're going to see it strongly negative this time. So it'll be.
So we're going to see a super La Nina.
It's going to be something similar to the El Nino, but the other way round.
Yeah,
So it's
super
going to be
La Nina.
a super La Nina, yes. So we could go down to the -3 figures, so possible
That's true.
-4 in parts as well.
But what? How many? Now we're gonna go to the hurricanes here. How many depressions and how many major hurricanes do you expect out of the Atlantic this year? And also, just kind of a question: do you think we'll see the end of the certain drought that we've been all waiting? All storm trackers have been waiting for.
Yeah,
We
I
did
think we'll see
mention
the
that.
end. I think we will see the end of the drought this year. I think we'll see a Cat 5 happening this year. Later in the season, between August and October, I think we'll see it.
So around peak.
During the peak time, yeah.
Yeah, most of them usually do around then.
Yes, they do, yeah.
And we can't really speculate much further what sort of storm it may be.
No. You never know. It could be Gaston, it could be anything.
It could be
so-
Ian,
The
it could be
storm
anyone.
name.
No, not the storm.
I mean, sort of
we
track
don't
and
know
stuff,
yet.
but I suppose...
Oh no, we don't know that yet.
I guess we will probably review the situation when we get to, say, June, July, and see what the
Yes,
current patterns look like, and...
Yes,
'Cause-
I'll certainly do another show to do with the hurricanes and stuff as well. Like July time.
Because a certain someone down in the Grand Cabins has said and has experienced Cat 5s firsthand, left, right, and centre, survived Hurricane Ivan of 2004, and he's not here. Adam, he's been keeping an eye on the ocean heat content on the Atlantic.
Yeah, I was going to mention that actually.
Now, I haven't heard any news from it so far, but as last I knew, it was warming up like a rocket. And in fact, apparently it's been warming up since January.
Yeah,
Probably
that-
just before Alex formed. So
that area of the Atlantic is actually warm quickly. It's actually warming up a bit quicker than normal. So it's actually doing what it did at the end of the 1997-98 land El Nino, it warmed up fairly quickly then as well.
because now we know who we saw in 1998 in the Atlantic. We saw Hurricane Mitch.
Yeah.
We know what he did.
Yeah.
Lee, just a final question before we take a short break.
Yes, we'll need to go through. Yeah.
Does Hurricane Alex have any bearing whatsoever on the rest of this hurricane season?
Well, Hurricane Alex has certainly set the tone for it. I think it will become more active for sure this upcoming season. And Alex was just a wee starter. It's like having a starter on your 3-course meal. So it's just like the starter. So yeah, I just wanted to have a wee joke there, yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, that's the answer to your question there.
All right.
Hello.
Oh,
So,
and Adam's arrived. We're
yeah,
just
sit
going
down.
to
Sorry,
break
I'm a little
now.
late.
Hello
Yeah,
there, Adam. Yeah,
I am alright. Yeah.
I think we should head for that break
Yes.
just now.
We'll be
yes.
back again
Yep.
in a few minutes at the top of the next hour, and then we'll give Adam a proper introduction. Back
Yes,
soon.
definitely. Yep.
You're watching Force 13 Live.
Welcome back to this evening's climate show, where we've been talking about the El Nino and La Nina, and here's a fantastic chart that Adam shared during the break, showing how quickly the El Nino is weakening. Where did you find this, Adam? I'll let you say how you...
I gotten this from a good friend of mine named Levi Cohen. He's the owner and boss of Tropical Tibbets.
Nice.
And
yeah.
And I'm currently reading through the CPC's weekly update, which comes out every Monday. And this El Nino is going bye-bye.
It's
quickly.
weakening very quickly. It looks like it's 0.8 on this chart. I'm just having a look at it, yeah, just where your cursor was there, David.
And that would be for region Nino region 1+2, and that's just off of the west coast of South America. Then you got Nino region 3, which is a little bit further out, about 90 degrees west to about 150.
And what's its temperature at the moment?
Currently 3.4, according to Levy's page is hold on, 3 is...
I can't remember what you said yesterday.
1.6.
Ooh, that's going down rapidly as well.
I'd just like to ask a fairly obvious question from an observer
on
here.
You go.
What explains the rise near the end before that sharp fall? Why has it risen again there?
That's a good.
The
go, Adam.
The thing you got to understand is that it will fall and rise. It's something
but it's
that
a general drop.
It won't be a continuous drop. It won't be a continuous rise. But what you have to look at is not so much in terms of the individual drops and rise, but the overall pattern. What you have to do.
So does it matter
is that
only?
You have to,
does it matter only what the start point and what the end point is in that case?
More or less, yes. You have to.
At least at the moment.
As generally dropping.
What you have to do, look on the charts, and you got to try and draw a line. Draw a line on the chart through the middle of all those rises and falls, and that will give you the general idea on what it's doing. And if you look at it, it is definitely falling.
It's on its way down. It's just a general dropping away, Nathan. So it'll never get back up to what it was a way back last December or anything like that. It is on its way out. So eventually it will go into the minus figures, and that'll be La Nina returning. So I just wanted that.
Just wanted to point out the earlier questions, what the other regions show. Okay, so we already established that Nino 1+2 is at 0.8, right? Nino 3, would be at 1.6. Nino 3.4. By the way, 3.4 is really the main one you got to look at. 3.4 is the area that really decides the overall Nino, and that's also a key factor that will determine what this hurricane season will bring. So 3.4 currently, according to the CDAS data, is 1.8 and falling.
Well, that's definitely dropping quickly. That was quite high during the El Nino. That is coming down rapidly. That is quick.
And the Nino 4 is at 1.4 and falling.
1.4, right? So that's also coming down. This is going goodbye, basically, Adam. I said before the break that the La Nina will be here by summertime, by summer/fall time frame, and I expect the most active hurricane period during this hurricane season to be between August and October, and I expect a Cat 5 within there as well.
My gut feeling's telling me yes. I also want to mention that this is the first time that all 4 Nino regions are below 2.0 since about October, November of last year.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So, 2 ticks.
I also have another little graphic, if you wouldn't mind posting this to share. These are the weekly, the change in weekly sea surface temperature anomalies, and this is relatively for the past 4 weeks. So about the past 4 months, in past month. And if you look at it, you could see how.
At the moment, Adam.
Yeah, I'll just post it on there. Just give me a sec. But you'll see where where the cold areas are developing across the equatorial Pacific. Hold on, just give me 2 secs.
I could screen share this quickly to see if
yeah, I'm almost there. Just give me a sec.
That's okay, I don't know.
Well, at this juncture, shall we allow Craig to talk about what he's been tracking recently?
I'll let Craig on you go. You can maybe talk about
I don't know if he is or not. He might have gone down to text now because it's late.
I might have dropped down the text, maybe. Touch it. Yeah, he's on mute now. Yep. Oh well. He's basically been tracking a severe supercell thunderstorm across America that's produced a pretty large tornado, which is possibly EF3, EF4. And that is producing winds of around 150 miles an hour or so. I'm not sure what the damage is like at this point, but it sounds very serious in America at this time with that supercell.
Okay, just posted that graphic there.
Very large, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good image, Adam.
Hoping you could be able to show that.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's able to screen share it. I can only do screen sharing once we're live.
Is David still there? So you can,
oh, there we go.
Yeah. David's there.
So talk us through it. We're seeing it now.
You can see how much weaker the El Nino's become in such a quick space of time. Would you agree with that, Adam?
It seems to have been helped. Well, I don't know if it's the same area, but what is most noticeable on that image in my eyes is that where your cursor's hovering right now, and that is coincidentally where Winston was a few weeks ago.
Oh yes, Winston took a lot of that water, basically cooled that region down, because it was such a strong storm. It fed off the very warm waters down there, and it's actually cooled that sea right down. That's a good point, Nathan, that you've discovered there.
Also to mention that in the winds, the winds have started to change around. In an El Nino situation, you would see a lot of strong anomalous westerly winds across the equatorial Pacific, which you're currently at this time we're not really seeing that. As a matter of fact, we're starting to see the opposite, where we're starting to get anomalous easterlies in the equatorial Pacific.
That indicates the
And
La
that
Nina is also on its way as well.
yeah, that's blowing off all the hot water and helping to bring up the cold water.
Yeah, that's a good point. The wind
And
direction.
also another thing to notice in that same graphic as well is that notice how the Atlantic is starting to pick up already.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about last night, how quickly that's getting itself organised for the upcoming season. This season's definitely going to be more active this season. It's really shaping up for quite an interesting season, Adam. Definitely.
And you look there, the Indian Ocean right now, warmer than average, yet an extreme lack of storms this year.
Yeah, the Indian Ocean doesn't get many storms through the year.
Well, it's been the quietest season there so far since in 17 years.
But I'm noticing some cool spots there, here and there, across that region as well.
Pockets.
Yeah, a few spots there, yeah. I would say the warmest water this, sorry.
But then you look at Northern Hemisphere, and I don't know what it's supposed to look like, but that's a big chunk of the Pacific there that's cooler.
Yeah, well, the Pacific as a whole is starting to get colder.
And did it look like that last year at all? It was probably warmer than average there, was it?
It was actually unusually warm. The Pacific, the North Pacific.
I also have. Sorry, no. Go on.
I have also another graphic here that indicates the upper ocean heat anomalies in the equatorial Pacific. And you could see from late January all the way to now where it has really dropped off. Actually, I think it dropped from what was that 1.3, and now it's all the way at 0.2 or 0.1. Now I'm about to get that graphic up here to show. Give me two ticks here.
That's okay.
But it is a rapid drop. This goes to show that subsurface and surface warm pool that used to be there is rapidly weakening and getting taken over by this developing and expanding cold pool that's developing further to the south and west. That's being pushed east.
I'm also going to mention something very quickly as well. The PDO and the AMO are also on the decline as well. The PDO is the Pacific waters, and the AMO is the Atlantic, and these two are generally on a these two are generally on a declined colder waters, and these two will actually be cold at the same time during the grand solar minimum as well. I just want to mention that as well.
Yeah.
And that will also support the harsher winters that we're going to get as well.
In the comments,
Just posted
Lee, Stephen Wright
Hold on.
says hi.
Oh, I don't have. Hello, Stephen. If you're watching.
Yeah, we
know
had
that
one of your
there's-
friends last time as well.
Yeah, there's quite a few that are actually watching from the club tonight too. They said they were going to go up the road and watch it as well. So
Here he is.
I've got quite a few people watching.
Oh, I think
Tonight.
is this Craig showing us what's been going on in America?
Oh, yeah.
Or someone
Yes.
showing it.
It's probably Craig.
This was an
Me.
earlier image. Oh, it's David. An earlier image from
Oh, it's
around.
David showed it, right?
What must be nearly an hour ago now when this was happening, wasn't it?
Yeah, that image took
Yep.
a good hour ago, yes. It's definitely got worse since then. Across there. There was actually very large tornado on the ground in America this time.
I was hoping David could show that after this, David could show that ocean heat
Look at that thing.
like graphic.
It's,
that's
It's
nasty.
very severe. Why the tornado warning centre hasn't given a tornado warning is baffling. I don't get it at all.
Well, we may talk about that in further detail later.
Yeah, so of course. But I'm just saying that is quite baffling to see that they haven't got a warning out, that's all.
Where are we going next, Lee?
I'm waiting for David to show this link that Adam's put up, the heat index,
David!
whatever it is. We'll talk about this graphic here. Give David a wee minute to...
Says he's got distracted.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to pop downstairs, but I'm back. Apologies.
Can
Okay,
you
now
post the thing that Adam's put up, the graphic?
The upper ocean heat anomaly graphic.
Yeah.
I'm having trouble here. I'm having a technical issue. Has anybody still got my screen share?
No.
Well, we did do a bit
Oh, okay, it's just showing up on. Right. Sorry,
I'll just get hold on a minute.
Well, coming up after Lee, I believe, Adam, you're still doing your show after this, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Would you like to quickly tell everyone what to expect from that?
Well,
From your show?
I am currently located in the Caribbean at the moment, in the beautiful Cayman Islands on Grand Cayman, and thus I'll be running the Caribbean Weather Desk, discussing all of the Caribbean's weather's delights. In my show will be a basic continuation somewhat with Lee's show on talking about El Nino and La Nina, and what does this mean for the Caribbean and the upcoming hurricane season, and also taking a little bit of a look at what it could mean for this winter season as well. And by the way, for those of you wondering, yes, the Caribbean does have a winter season.
Yes, it does indeed.
Alright, we've got the graphic now.
Right.
Right.
So this graphic is showing the upper ocean heat anomalies that's currently within the equatorial Pacific between 180 and 100. I believe that is where the most important bit is, the Nino 3.4 region. And you can definitely see where it starts dropping off from its peak in November, and then kind of rises a little bit in January, but then it just drops completely off in about the middle of January. So. And it's nearly down to zero.
It's a huge drop.
That's a massive drop. A huge decline there.
starting to feel the effects of the cold pool that's making its way. If you read the reports from the CPC, you could see where they talk about these the subsurface cold pool, which is below the surface currently, is in the process of rising. As a matter of fact, before this week, the pool was actually before the last couple of weeks, it was down to about 160, 150 meters down, and now it's at 130, and now 100 meters up, and almost near the surface now. And you'll continue seeing the rapid drop in the heat anomalies all the way down into negatives. Matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised
And
you
once we
start
get,
seeing by next week.
yeah, once you get to the negatives, you'll start to see the La Nina coming into effect. So the El Nino will officially be gone by the time we get to the minus, or negative, as I say, figures.
I also want to mention that a few places use the CFC to forecast things, that at the moment it seems that the CMC, the CFC, the CFS is the current outlier in the El Nino forecast. Most of the other forecast members are forecasting a La Nina either within the moderate stage, even some going as much as strong to really strong La Nina.
Well, that's what I'm reckoning.
Only
I'm reckoning it'll be a inequality, if that's what you're saying.
I would say moderate or strong, and that's the way it's looking to me. But the CFS now is the only outlier indicating that that it will weaken to neutral and then regain strength and become another El Nino, which
Very
seems to be
unlikely.
very unlikely.
Very unlikely. Very unlikely there.
Mm.
That's just a crazy update. That saying that the El Nino,
Yeah.
no, absolutely not, Adam. It'll go down,
Mm.
and it'll continue to go down to La Nina. I think what's happening with some of those updates are basically run by the global warming people. So I just don't think to do with them. But anyway.
But my prevailing question there is, how does anyone know what's actually going to happen?
Well, there's people that actually do know what's going to happen. It's just that there's these global warming people about that think that basically bad people that think they can just scare the world and tell the world there's this major global warming. NASA were just found out that they were causing a lot of lies just in the past month or so. And NASA are going to be getting into a bit of trouble over that as well, Nathan, for giving out false climate forecasts.
But yeah,
so
it's just something I don't really understand.
I
is
just-
that
I
how
know
you can
you
predict
don't.
so far out. In any case, whether it's for warm or for cold, when
Well-
you know when you're predicting the weather in the next 5 days, it isn't always right, is it?
I know
Well-
it's not.
well,
I know
the
what you
thing
mean
you
there,
got-
Nathan.
I could probably help answer that. The thing about it is, Nathan, is that when you're forecasting climate, it's different than forecasting individual weather systems.
Yes.
You know, you can predict temperatures fairly easily, especially monthly temperatures over an extended period of time is easier than forecasting what the temperature will be this weekend or tomorrow as greatly as that. Because if you got to think about it, right? In terms of the
There's certainly
El
less
Nino La
accuracy.
Nina cycle, in terms of the La Nina El Nino cycles, we know that you would normally find the peak of each event within winter months, usually somewhere within November and February
True.
is usually the peak.
Yes,
Normally, the transition months between El Nino or La Nina or vice versa is usually either in the fall or the springtime.
or
Um,
even summer too for some events
even
as well.
some for some of them, but most of them are
But
usually
most of them
spring.
are the fall period um,
Uh-huh.
and spring too.
Yeah,
But it is
and
easier to predict the climate than to do forecasting 5 days ahead, for
yeah.
example. So um, I just thought I'd add that to your point there, Adam.
Mhm.
David probably wants to talk about what he's showing right now.
On you go, David.
Looking at the rainfall total across the next 8 days for Australia and particularly the Gulf of Carpentaria out into the Coral Sea, which appears to impact on New Caledonia. How can we relate this scene to the
Now,
drop in surface temperature along with the El Nino or La Nina?
well, as I can say, this that you're showing that may be the first event of the cooling of the waters over the Pacific. This will be your first sort of rain event, I feel like, David, of the upcoming season. It's like a taster before the actual real event begins. So once the La Nina becomes established, it'll become more frequently.
So
Rather, so this is really a starter point. This event that's showing up just now on your screens here.
would
So
I be right? Would I be right to say that looking at this chart, and this is the Australian Weather Bureau's latest information, and with what we're seeing, that is a conservative look. Would I be right to say that I could see more of this scene across the next 6, 7 months, even though it's being helped with probably a strong monsoon trough, but
yes,
it looks like this is going to be, well,
this is
I'm
going
going
to
to say
start to
common.
become it's going to start becoming more common for you. Yes,
I
so you're
think
absolutely right, David. There actually. Um, on you go, Adam. What's your point?
yeah, I think there's with El Niños, Australia tends to have
Be more dry climate.
a drier and drier period and more fires, wildfires and so on.
Yes,
Where
absolutely.
and it's quite the opposite when we turn into La
Oh,
Nina. You tend to have
yeah.
a wetter monsoonal
Yes,
type.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's exactly what I've been saying to you, David. That's why
yeah,
the La Nina is good for you because you're going to get more rain and also cooler as well. It won't be as hot
yeah.
during the La Nina period as well. So,
So I'll be right
so
in saying, sorry, mate, I'll be right to say I'm looking at another major flooding event.
yes, you are. Yes, once this La Nina
Especially,
is established, you will get some serious floods.
especially,
When you go to Adam.
especially. Yeah, especially if that La Nina gets into that moderate or strong stage, you should be really prepping for a very wet season.
Yes, as I was saying yesterday to you, David, it is going to be severe flooding for you, and you'll get more than the one storm or one low pressure system that will come along and give you some serious floods. So I think you should prepare for the floods that are coming your way.
Hmm.
So um, yes, definitely.
And you could also possibly looking for the possibility of maybe one or two Winstons by Australia. If there's enough moisture, enough lower pressures in the area, you could be looking at possibly seeing Winston type events off of Australia as well. The sea surface temperatures are somewhat cooling in the area, but if you have the more moisture, the lower pressures. It would also help with the dying down of up level winds, and if the conditions are right, you're gonna need
Yes.
to start looking and preparing for not just monsoonal flooding rains and all that, but possibly flood and damage from a tropical cyclone.
Yes, you could see another tropical cyclone hit for your area as well, David.
I
As well during the La Nina as well. And I'm looking at the screens here now. That's quite an image you're showing just now as well. I've not seen this image before. I'm assuming this is the rainfall, is it? Is this?
This is the tropic tip bits, and this is the GFS total accumulated precipitation out to 240 hours. And what I should bring into the discussion is you look at the Papua New Guinea, probably the central highlands, the southern highlands, and they've actually, I think, been in a drought. So when you look at this total precipitation, look at the areas in yellow. So it looks like the entire PNG region, right down to the southern tip, are going to get some much needed rainfall when you're looking at
Yes.
the area in yellow. So, but Papua New Guinea, they'll welcome this.
Yeah, they've been in quite a drought
Yeah.
during the El Nino, yes.
So this is the area that's got my
your
eyes
attention.
on the tropical North Queensland coast. And we should say to the viewers, I know it was just off topic for a minute. I'm keeping an eye on this area for a tropical low. So this is the rainfall. So when we factor in the La Nina, we're going to see more of this scenario.
Well, we're going
La
to see
Nina.
more La Nina. We're going to see more flooding for Queensland and also your area. And even Papua New Guinea will get more rain during the La Nina as well. So yes, it is good news coming for you, David, definitely. For rain.
A question on the comments. It's something we covered early on in the show, but we'll just reiterate our thoughts perhaps. 1966, Hank says, will the Atlantic season be more active this year if El Nino dissipates?
Yes, it will be. I'm definitely saying yes. Yes, definitely.
Might have dare say we could also be looking at one of the another record-breaking year possibly.
Yeah, it's definitely not out of the question there, Adam. For that as well. Yes, that's it's answer Hank's question. Yeah.
Good. What's next?
Check all my notes.
Any other questions?
No, not this time.
I'd like us to run till 10 to 12, is that okay?
Yeah, just one other thing actually. does it have the El Nino La Nina? Does it have any impact on tornado activity?
Well, it tends to when it's transitioning into La Nina, we tend to get very violent tornadoes, similar to the one that we had in Joplin in 2011, and we also had a 2.5 mile wide EF5 in the May 2013 on the last day of it. And that was actually the biggest tornado ever recorded in America.
So you think this year will be bad? I mean, there's already been problems. I don't know how bad they've been relative to other seasons.
I think April and May are going to be really active for tornadoes. And I'm not really out an EF5 tornado, possibly April or possibly May. It's very difficult to see what months that'll happen, but as always, I'll keep an eye on things and I'll let you all know. I'm also going to give you a wee quick update on the sun, because I did promise the Facebook people that I would give a solar activity update on every show that I'm doing, so I did forget to say that at the start of the show.
That's the current view near Spartanburg, by the way, in South Carolina.
Right, I would give a quick solar activity update. And current solar activity at this time is very low, very quiet. There's only 2 sunspots visible on the solar disk. That basically means the Earth facing side of the sun. These sunspots are inactive at this time, and also the solar flux is also 93, and because it's that low, it means that we can see high pressure blocking happening, and that's actually what's happening above the UK at the moment. There's a high pressure blocking right over the UK, and that's why we're going to be dry for possibly a 2-week period now, until Easter. We might get a slight breakdown at Easter, where we could see some rain and hill snow across Scotland. So possibly in England too, some of that rain as well. But generally, we're looking at a drier than normal spring ahead.
Do you think we'll have a hot summer here in the UK?
No, that's something I'm working on, Nathan, and I will do that at a later show, maybe in May. I'll give you an update on that.
Well, yeah, we got a whole content back now, haven't we? Otherwise we'll run out.
Oops,
sorry.
That is what I will be doing. I'll be giving a solar activity update in every show as well. And solar activity is very low indeed, and that will continue to decline as we continue to go towards solar cycle 25, and that will start in a couple of years' time. Solar cycle 25. Solar cycle 24 is weakening, and that's what we're seeing right now. So, yes. So, 10 minutes more to run, I would say, Nathan. I would say another 10 minutes if everyone wants to have
indeed.
questions.
Well, Craig's screen sharing this feature now, guys. Any comments? I think it's Craig.
Is it Craig or is it David?
Craig's certainly the one interested in it anyway. Here it is.
That's Craig then.
And there's a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for the area to the east of that, including where it is right now, of course, approaching I-77.
Yes, it looks as if it's weakened a wee bit on this image. I'm not entirely. But it was fairly strong earlier on. Look at, yep. I'd like to.
That's us.
That is. Yeah. Aye, it's just saying to be a thunderstorm warning. So, I think it looks as if the tornado has weakened. In the past half an hour or so, and it looks as if the supercell's weakening also, but it was looking pretty bad for a time there, I have to say. So, yeah.
All right. Well, David, anything at your end?
You want chance?
I'm just bringing up this from the TVN site, and just following on to what Craig has posted. So you can see the area that's under the, what is it, severe thunderstorm warning. And that's just to the east of Spartanburg. And I'll just, so there's the activity. It looks like it's tracking east. And I'll just quickly go up to North Carolina.
Craig's saying it's a small tornado now. It's a stovepipe tornado. So it has weakened.
So there's two areas of interest.
Yes, there's another couple.
Yep.
So it looks as if a new warning will be in place as soon as.
Now, am I still screen sharing? Or
you never were, actually, David.
No, there's no screen share at the moment.
Oh.
Wait, see,
it's not a. It's not allowing me.
Is it? No. It was a moment ago.
Okay.
It can be really funny, that screen share.
Yes.
It can work sometimes and then not work. But I'm planning to get my laptop sorted too.
Alright, okay.
Waiting here.
yeah, just giving them
a
moment to...
Not letting me do it.
Well, that's a shame.
That's a shame it's not letting you
so,
do it now.
Lee, do us a little recap of what we've covered in tonight's show.
Well, we've basically covered the El Nino and La Nina situation. We're basically going to see La Nina returning for sure over this summer into the autumn. We could also see a more active hurricane season. We've also mentioned that this evening. And we've also had a general discussion about the tornado situation as well. So basically it's been a great show tonight, basically mentioning the El Nino and La Nina. It's been great having David and to screen share these images, and also for Adam for sending some images through as well. So that's been pretty appreciated as well on tonight's show. So yes, that's basically it for tonight, I would say.
Okay, well, we're going to take a short break now. We may return with
a
short amount of open mic between now and the start of the next hour, when Adam will be taking over with the Caribbean Weather Desk. Stay tuned on Force 13 Live.
Thanks everyone.
No problem.